Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our live webinar on Discover Potential Stocks in the US Bear Market. This is Lucas. I'm a Business Development Executive with Phillip Nova. We'll be sending a recording of this webinar tomorrow, so you can feel free to reply to the email if let's say you have any questions or queries to us. Okay. Before we begin, I will share with you our current account opening promotion. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, we are having our Earth Day promotion for the entire month of April. Okay, so how do you entitle for this promotion? You just need to apply for an account opening, okay, and then trade any of the related ESG shares or ETF, okay, from the 1st of April until end of April. So what are the available shares? So what you can do is you can just scan the QR code. Okay, it will direct you to our promotions page, so you can see the entire list of stocks and shares that are eligible for this promotion. Okay, so it's quite attractive. So your main counters like Google, Facebook, and all these are part of the eligible shares. Okay, so without further ado, let me introduce our speaker. Okay, he is Mr. Caleb Gunn, our licensed wealth manager at Phillip Nova. Okay, so he has a lot of experience, and today he will guide you through how to discover potential stocks in the bear market. Okay, Caleb, over to you.
Okay, Lucas, can you hear me clear?
Yep, all good.
All good, huh? All right. Okay, so okay, let me proceed right now, and I mean the chat room. Can they type any question in the chat room? Can, right? If they any questions.
Yes, they can type the questions and we'll be able to see it.
Okay, all right, can, all good. Okay, so I will be taking over from you, lah. Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Caleb Gunn. I'm from this. I represent this Jurong East Investor Center. Light. Okay, so I'm what we call that a wealth manager with multiple licenses. So that means I can do multiples what we call that licenses like stockbroking, advisory, right? You know, many other products, okay, that is offered by Phillip's Capitals, okay, and also one of the award-winning stockbroker and trader. So before I start, right, please allow me, or can I ask for your permissions to share with you a little bit about myself. Reason is because that you don't want to what we call that talk with a stranger like me, okay, for you know 1.5 hours. Okay, so let me quickly share with you a little bit of myself. Previously I was in this IT line, okay, so I still remember my IT manager actually put me inside the server room. There's only one reason, so that I got to stay back at this what we call that in a server room to do the installations of the software. And last time the server was pretty slow, therefore the installation sometimes took 10 hours. Okay, so while waiting for the installation to be completed, I started to search for opportunity like how to make money during the night time, and then the answer actually popped up called how to invest in the US market. So that's how I started. Okay, without any experience, I actually jump into the US stock market. And then I still remember that was 2007. Market was really bullish. All right, when market was really bullish, that means anyone can make money without any investment knowledge. All right, so during that time I was pretty young. Okay, and then I made some money. All right, although it's not a lot, but then I feel that in 2007 I feel that stock market was so easy to make money without any knowledge. So therefore what I did is that I become traded more, okay, with a much more bigger amount. I still remember my remisier during that time gave me around 250k buy limit. So that was a lot lah, okay, for people like me in 2000. For people like me as a young age. But what happened in 2008? As you know, market crash actually. So when the market crashed, and then what happened is that I still remember I still holding on to this US stock. Okay, and then the US stock actually crashed also from $20 within 1 hour, the price actually crashed to $15. So I was panicked during that time, and then what I did is that I tried to average down. Okay, so when I average down, the strategy is what we call it quite common for retail investor, called average down. All right. So let's say, for example, I purchase at $20, okay, and then the price crashed down, okay, to $15, okay. So I buy more, right? So I buy here, okay, and then it crashed down again, all right, to what we call that $12, and then I buy more again. So this is what I call average down lah, okay. So average down is dangerous if the price did not recover. But during that time was panic, okay, when when human being were panic, all right, usually they act what we call that very emotional, okay. So thinking that the price hopefully will recover so that I can exit the position at the break-even price, but that wasn't happen. The price keep crashing down, okay. So at the end of the day, which is 3 days later, when the contract is due, my reminder actually called me, Caleb, am I going to pay for the share? And of course, I have no money to pay for the share lah, okay, because I was over traded already. The reason is because that the amount was around 250k, the position side, and then I got to tell my reminder to force close my position, and I incur contra losses, and then I get this warning from my reminder. Okay, if I don't pay the contra losses, they're going to report my name to this XGX, so that my name or particular will be blacklisted in Singapore financial sector, so that I could not apply for the housing loan, car loan, or credit card application. So it was a pretty serious matter for me. So I got no choice. Then I approached my parents. As you know, every parents love their childrens, and my parents finally wrote me a check, and then I pay off the contra losses. Of course, I couldn't sleep during that night. Reason is because that was their hard-earned money lah. Okay, so I got to find way how to make back the money and to pay them. All right, so like what you are currently doing. So I went for many seminar, okay, and then one of the workshop, or the first workshop that I have attended, is how to actually short sell the market. Okay, so I went for many workshop. All right, and then one of them is how to short sell the market. All right, this is important. Okay, one of the strategy when stock market enter a bear market. Okay, so if I knew this instrument, okay, I would have probably cut loss in the earlier phase, and then what we call that, apply a short selling strategy for a bear market when the market crash down, so that at least I can make some money during the what we call that the bear market. All right, so of course along the way I also attended many workshop, okay, and then with some result I quit my job, and then I joined Phillips as a full-time reminder. And then during my career path, I was awarded top performer achiever, top trading representative in stock and CFD, top ETF global market for US, Hong Kong, China, Malaysia award, and then best team award in last couple of years. And I also regular sharings in this YouTube channel called Well Hero YouTube channel. You can scan the QR code if you are interested to subscribe through my YouTube channel, okay, which is free, so that whenever I have any update, all right, you can actually view the video, okay, about the stock investment update for different kind of stocks. And secondly, I also a regular guest invited by this Chinese radio 958 ，OK， 华语的电台958。然后so that you know same thing, I also share with this what we call that Chinese speaking audience in this 958 about the stock market in Hong Kong, China, US, okay, Singapore market updates. And in 2016, I was, you know, together with my team, we were so lucky because our hard work were being recognized by this Phillip Security top management, so that they allow us to open the investor branch, okay, called a Phillip Investor Branch at this Jurong East area. So therefore, with that, right, we are getting a lot of the inquiry about others instruments like you know CFD trading, like future trading. So I got no choice, you know, to apply for these multiple licenses, just because that you know I got to serve different kind of the client who have a different experience, because some of the client want to trade more what we call that advanced instruments. Okay, so with that I'm trying to add value to them. And then the other one, I also one of the approved trainer from this IBF, and currently I'm conducting this course in through IBF called Mastering Price Actions. Okay, and the IBF grant is actually up to 90% to 80%. So that means the government are still subsidizing for this what we call that the workshop called Mastering Price Actions. And it will be conducted by me 100%. So it is currently quite a popular workshop lah, okay, in the town. And I also one of the co-founder of this art trading system. Reason is because that last time I used to, you know, trade manually. Manually means that we depend on our eyes ball to look for the stocks, all right? And then we spend a lot of time to look for the stock. At the end of the day, we might not catch the right stocks, because if we are using our eyes ball, you know, human beings, sometimes we might actually overlook on certain stock which have the potentials. Okay, because I was in the IT background, I know how to do some programming, and therefore I actually engage the developer, okay, to do some programming for me to create the system, so that, for example, when a certain stock went up, okay, in the uptrend, so that this system will screen out the stocks and show me how trending of the stocks like, so that with this information I'll be able to share it to my client through my Telegram broadcast actually. So this is another way how we servicing our client. We choose to be a difference because we believe that you know, investment is a long journey. As a client, you need a solid team to support your investment journey, and you need a broker, all right, that have experience in different market. And then you also need a broker who are you know, are using the advanced tools in the stock investment, like this art trading system, so that you know we can quickly share the informations to every one of our client. Reason is because that the stock market move so quickly, you know, as you know, and then market is dynamic, all right? They don't wait for you. If you are still using your eyes ball, then you might, you know, miss out your opportunity. So therefore, this art trading system, which is very useful for me, that I actually help my client for the past, you know, 10 years. So that's why, you know, we are still be able, you know, stay in this industry and stay on top together with the, what we call that, top reminder in the Phillip Securities. And how does this system work basically is different from other. The reason is because that you know, we are using the technical analysis, all right, to identify the stocks. Okay, so we can see this is the first step, all right. And then, for example, if you want to scan, you know, sideways stock or a breakout stocks, all right, or we want to look for uptrending stock, okay, or we want to look for downtrending stock. All right, so the system will be able to help us to screen out all these type of stocks. All right, and then after that, screen out the potential stocks. And then the second step is that we will use our what we call that screener, okay, to screen out different stock market like Singapore, Hong Kong, China, US, Malaysia market. Okay, and then of course after screen out the stocks already, okay, what we are doing is that we will use a very basic fundamental analysis, all right, to what we call that, to go through the stock from the screener, okay, because we don't want a lousy stocks to be sent to our client. So at least we want to know the company is what we call that, a fundamental good company, or at least the revenue are growing, all right, and then the company that is at least making money, okay, not a penny stocks. So this is what we are doing. You can see that we are doing in a different way, okay. We are looking at the technical analysis first, then technical analysis will be able to screen out this type of the stock, 3 type of the stock, and then after that we will use the fundamentals, all right, to go through another round of the stocks and before we sending out the broadcast to our client. Okay, so this is what we have been doing every day to save our client times, all right. And then what is the objective for today? Okay, so today objective, right, number 1, okay, is to what? Is to do the homework for you lah. Then you might wonder what is the homework. Of course, it's not the school homework lah. It's what I call a stock analysis homework. Okay, so that means what you need to do is that you just need to sit in front of this screen and relax, and then while I do the talking for you, which I already done my research, okay, which I already spent a lot of time, okay, to study some company, okay, to study the market, okay. So before I'm conducting this webinar, all right. And then the other objective is that, okay, what I want, okay, is to help you, okay, is to help you to identify potential stock, okay, potential stock. So like what I as what you know, stock market, like for example Singapore, we have more than 1,000 stocks. In US we have around 3,000 stocks, all right. So how are you going to find the right stocks? Okay, you might have a problem with that lah, okay. So that's why I'm here today to analyze the stocks for you, and then to share with you the potential stocks, okay. And then lastly, all right, lastly, which is important one, okay, so I will be also helping you, but I will be also helping you to identify the key level of the stock. All right, so what do I mean by that? Okay, so let's say for example we have identified stock A, but however we do not know when to buy. So my job tonight here is that we want to identify when to buy. Okay, of course we would like to buy here when the price pull back, correct or not? Okay, we want to buy when the price pull back. All right, we want to buy when the price pull back, or we want to identify the the bottom of the stocks. Okay, all right, and then we want to buy when the price started to what? When the price started to rebound or begin to change of the trend. Okay, begin to change what? Begin to change. Okay, so this is a support level, and we want to buy somewhere here. All right, so this is a tonight objective. Okay, this is tonight objective, so that every one of you can learn something new. All right, within 1.5 hours, so that you can apply all the strategy that I'm going to share with you about the price action as well. So I'm going to use the price actions strategy to analyze the stock, and then to share with you what is my view lah. Okay, what is my view? All right, and then secondly, okay, the time frame of the investment also very important, right? So I usually categorize the time frame to 3 types of the time frame. So namely, the first one is a short term trading. All right, and then we have a mid-term trading. All right, and then lastly, we have a long-term investment. Okay, so which one are you in? Okay, which one are you in? All right, which is very important, because certain stock that I'm going to share with you is just meant for a short-term trading, and it's not for a holding for a long term. So that's why tonight event is all about the education purposes, and it's not for you to buy, or it's not for you to sell tomorrow. Okay, can this be agreed? And if you agree, then we can proceed further. Now, short-term trading. All right, short-term trading, okay, you can use technical analysis, or you can use price actions. All right, and what are the stocks that you want to trade? Okay, sometimes you can trade growth stock, right? Or sometimes you want to trade speculative stock. Okay, and sometimes you want to trade blue chip as well. Blue chip can be a short-term trade, right? So that's why you have to determine your time frame, okay, in the first place, okay, so that what happened, so that when the market turn against you, you have to cut loss, okay, cut loss, because nothing is 100%, okay, nothing is 100%. All right, so these are the time frame that everyone must have in first place. Okay, and then the other one, what we have, okay, midterm trading. Okay, midterm trading, you can apply technical analysis, price actions, or you can combine a little bit about fundamental analysis. All right, so we can look for a growth stock, okay, and you can look for a blue chip, okay, stock. All right, so if the market turn against you for this midterm trade, okay, then you have to cut loss as well lah. All right, because what? Because you have determined, okay, you want to trade midterm. And then lastly, we have long term. Okay, long term. All right, long term mean fundamental, good company. All right, and then what else? Blue chips, blue chip stocks. Okay, and then what else? It can be a growth stock as well, right? Okay, so this growth stock is what? Growth stock is fundamental good company growth stocks. Okay, so long term, do you cut loss? Long term, do you cut loss or not? Okay, so it depends. No, it actually depends, right? Because Warren Buffett, as a value investor, he also cut loss. Okay, so that's why the long-term investment, okay, is dangerous word, okay, for every one of us if you do not know what you are buying. Okay, so some people, they bought some stocks, okay, and then he always thought that the company that he bought is a good company. Okay, this is because your money already into these stocks, and then you become biased. All right, So stock like High Flux, Semcorp Marine, okay, there are many stocks, okay. Previously was a good stock, but however, because you never look at the chart, or maybe you overload, all right, then it become a lousy stock. So therefore, a long-term investment is dangerous if you do not know what you are doing. All right. So tonight, okay, I'm going to share with you, okay, what is the midterm trade, okay, for this webinar, all right. And then you can apply this midterm trade in your what we call that stock investment strategy, all right, stock investment strategy. So let me share with you a little bit about this what we call it, the entire market, okay, which is what we call that the market update. All right. So now previously, or because when I what we call that decided to conduct this seminar, which was 1 month ago, okay, when I planned for this webinar, right, it was 1 month ago. So 1 month ago, market was bearish, okay, 1 month ago, market was bearish, and then subsequently, US Nasdaq enter a bear market, all right, Nasdaq dropped more than 20%. All right, and then it enter bear market, but subsequently few days later, Nasdaq actually rebound, okay, Nasdaq actually rebound, okay. So now this report, okay, from this what we call that Financials Express, okay, and then this is the author, okay. He actually wrote this article on 16 March, okay, 16 March, right? So what he mentioned in this report is that, okay, now there were what we call it fund manager in the US, right? Actually, what we call that they are raising cash, okay, levels to a highest since April 2020, okay. That means since pandemic, okay, there are some fund manager, all right, started to raise their cash and waiting for the bear market, okay. But however, what happened during the pandemic is that the technology stock keep moving up, all right. But some of the fund house, they still keep the cash, okay, until today. And because of the recent bear market, okay, so this actually cash level actually went up further, okay. So in US is good, all right. Reason is because that there are a lot of the informations available, okay. So therefore we can do what we call that some research based on the US data, because it makes sense to do research on the US stock market data. Reason is because that I would say all of the market actually will be influenced by the US stock market now. So therefore, it is makes sense for us to use the what we call it US stock data to analyze the informations and then to share with every one of you. Okay, and then the other thing is that I just want to share with you is that, and this chart is quite interesting, all right. This chart is quite interesting. It's called fund manager cash level, okay. It's called fund manager cash level, all right. So this information will be published by this BOA global fund manager, all right. So this chart actually show us that the fund manager in the US area have actually what we call that raise the cash in higher levels, all right, since what we call that April 2020. Okay, now why do we need to know this kind of the informations? Why do we need to know this kind of informations? We want to know. Reason is because that we want to invest in the stock market. Okay, now let's say the stock price went down, okay, and then like what I mentioned, we want to buy somewhere here, all right. And when the price started to what we call that a rebound, okay, we want to buy somewhere here, all right. Now in order for the price, okay, going up, okay, the fund manager must buy, right? Must buy, right, in order for the price to push up. Okay, you get what I mean? So that means in the market, all right, there are a lot of cash, okay, that is actually waiting to enter the stock market. So therefore, last couple of weeks, I conduct a regular webinar every week. So that's why my client actually benefit from my previous webinar. How to time the market correctly. Reason is because we want to buy when the price started to or begin to rebound. Okay, we don't want to buy here. Okay, we don't want to buy here. All right, we don't want to buy when the price selling down. Okay, we don't want to buy here, we don't want to buy here, we don't want to buy here. So we want to buy here. All right, so that is when the what we call that market started to rebound on when? On 16 March. All right, on 16 March. Okay, so that's when I started to share, okay, with my client. It's time to enter the stock market, okay, before the price spiked up. Okay, you can see that last couple of last week the index went up, okay, quite a lot. Okay, quite a lot. Okay, this is because the fund, okay, the money are going into the where? Going into the stock market. All right, okay, so the fund is actually going into the stock market to push up the price. So this is important. Reason is because that stock investment is not about drawing the chart, it's not about looking at the candlesticks. All right, you have to look at some informations whereby most of the retail investors are overlooking on it. Okay, so therefore that's why I say, all right, I do the homework for you, okay, so that you can save your time, and then at least someone to alert you, okay, when the market is started to rebound, okay, or begin to rebound. All right, so does it make sense? So the next thing, the big question that a lot of people is asking is about what? Is about the interest rate, okay, interest rate. Right, when the interest rate started to announce, okay, the stock market actually crashing down. Okay, especially what? Especially the Nasdaq. All right, Nasdaq or tax stock crashing down. Okay, because what? Because of interest rate. Okay, so interest rate actually pull down the Nasdaq or technology market. All right, but however, okay, I just want to share with you is that interest rate is not a big issue, okay, because interest rate, all right, it's just what we call that a term, or what we call that a US government policy, all right, to stabilize the inflations. Okay, so this is a US government policy to stabilize the inflations, because inflations is at the high after 30 years. Okay, currently I think it's around 7% or 7.5%. Okay, so therefore the interest rate has to be increased to what? To counterfight the what we call that the high inflation. Okay, all right, high inflations. So during the what we call it the discussions, okay, during the discussion when the US government did not what we call that confirm how many bips are they going to increase, or how many time are they going to increase in 2022, so market become volatile, okay, because interest rate was still in discussion. So when the interest rate was still in discussion, market will tend to be volatile. Okay, but however, once the interest rate has been confirmed, all right, how many bit are they going to increase and how many time are they going to increase? what happened to the market is that market become stabilizing. Okay, market becomes stabilizing. Okay, market becomes stabilizing. Okay, and then what happened is that, and then the market actually break out, okay, from the market. Okay, so what happened is that if you look at this chart, okay, they are going to have multiple times of the interest rate increase. Okay, so for April and May, 2 times of the increase. And in fact, if you look at the interest rate 0.25 and 0.5, is actually not very high. Okay, it's not very high. But why the market can drop 20%? Okay, why the Nasdaq market dropped 20%? Okay, so this is what happened, is that this is because stock market is driven by human psychology behavior. Okay, stock market is volatile. Okay, because of what? Human behavior. Okay, cause the market to be very volatile because what? Because they receive bad news. Okay, war. Okay, they receive what? Chinese stocks going to be banned in the US stock market. Okay, Chinese stock, right? And then what happened? They receive inflation. What happened? Okay, oil price skyrocket. Okay, what else? Interest rate. Okay, so all are these bad news, okay, affect the stock market, which is driven by the human psychology behavior, right? So as an experienced investor, okay, you have to what? You have to ignore the noise. Okay, you have to ignore the noise and then look at the chart and then to tell you, all right, when is a proper time to enter, okay, when is the time to sell, and then when is the time to hold. So this is crucial. Reason is because that you need certain level of knowledge, also called a financial investment knowledge. It can be a prior actions, okay, what we call that knowledge, or it can be a fundamental analysis knowledge. All right, so all this, when you have this knowledge, then you'll be able to make a necessary decision. Okay, now the next slide I want to show you is that increase of the interest rate is not a bad thing. Okay, increase of the interest rate is not a bad thing. All right, so if you look at this, the blue color line, the blue color line means that when the interest rate has been increased, okay, what happened to the S&P 500 in the black color line. Okay, so you can see that the interest rate increase, the stock market went up. Okay, stock market, right? So when the interest rate decrease, okay, that's when the stock market reduce. Okay, interest rate increase, stock market increase. Interest rate reduce, okay, stock market also reduce. All right, and then for a long time the interest rate was so low, okay, and then recently what happened? The interest rate is going to increase and then increase, and then the stock market went up again, right? So you can see that, okay, interest rate increase is a good news actually. Reason is because that what happened? Okay, the economic has improved lah. Okay, has improved. Why? Because after the pandemic, okay, a lot of the industry started to improve, okay, in their business, and then more people are buying, okay, cause the inflations to, you know, went up. And then when the inflation went up, the crude oil also went up. All right, so this is what we call, okay, a what? A economic booming. All right, so that's why what we call that interest rate has to be increased. Okay, so this is a good sign. All right, so when the market is bad, what happened? When the market is bad, okay, or the economic is bad, okay, what happened? Okay, the government will what? They will what? They will reduce the interest rate, right? So that's why you can see that when they reduce the interest rate here, okay, the stock market crash. Okay, when they reduce the interest here, the stock market crash. All right, so that's why, okay, increased interest rate is a good thing for the stock market, interest for the stock market. Okay, and then what happened to the oil price? Okay, a lot of people asking, okay, what happened to the oil price? Went up so high already. And there are few points that I just want to highlight, okay, namely is because the corporate actions, okay, earning might be affected lah. Okay, reason is because that crude oil actually will affect the transportation fee, also called the production fee, to be increased. Okay, to be increased. All right, and then raising oil price can also stir up the concern of the inflation, which already happened. Okay, and then it also show that the market is actually, or the economic is actually booming. Okay, so higher price could also reflect a strong business performance. Okay, so that's why the oil price increased. Right, so there's the impact of the oil price. But we want to know what next after the oil price increase. We want to know what next. Okay, so what next is that, okay, so short term the oil price is possible to spike up as long as what, as long as the war is still ongoing. Okay, as long as the war is still ongoing. And then what happened is that, okay, increase of the oil price, okay, will actually improve, all right, improve, okay, the electrical vehicle, okay, EV. One of them is Tesla. So that's why you see that the stock actually went up 55%, okay, recently. Okay, and EV related stocks, okay, or so-called EV battery, will be doing well as well. Right, so that's why you need to what, you need to buy or look at the, what we call that, so-called popular sector. Okay, right, popular sector. One of them is a EV lah. Okay, one of them is a EV, which is already reflected in the stock market, which is already reflected in the stock market. All right, and then talk about China. Okay, China recently also spiked up. Okay, the index went up a lot. All right, and this is because what happened? Okay, same date. All right, in what we call it, 16 March. Okay, so China was having a meeting with this guy. Okay, a very powerful guy in China. So he is a China senior economic planner and a direct advisor to Mr. Xi Jinping. Okay, so council meeting actually touched on this urgent need to boost the China economic in the first quarter of 2022. All right, although the, what we call that, the meeting was happening in March. Okay, which the first quarter is almost finished already, but they still make it very seriously that they want to boost the economic in the first quarter. All right, and then what happened? Okay, and secondly, okay, they also mentions that they are actually working closely with the US government about the Chinese stock ADR, because they want to come up with a concrete cooperation plan. Okay, and then thirdly, what happened is that they also mentioned they want to ease a regulatory crackdown on this technology company in the China. And then fourth, they mentioned they want to support the China stock market by actively introduce a policy that benefit the market. And then lastly, which is very important message to the foreign investor, it actually mentions that for a long-term institutions investor, they are actually welcome to increase their shareholding. So that means this guy, okay, wants a foreign investor to invest in the China a company stock through Hong Kong Stock Exchange or China Stock Exchange. So with this informations, it actually push up the Hang Seng Index HSI went up 1,600 point. Okay, on that 2 day. Okay, on that 2 day. All right. So we can see that Hang Seng Index right now they has been stabilized. Hang Seng Index also are in the consolidation zone. Okay, so this is Hang Seng Index top and the bottom. Okay, which I already done the homework for you lah. Okay, so this is what we call that based on the past records. Okay, average drawdown is around 42%. Okay, average drawdown is for what we call it around 42%. So later we are going to see the Hang Seng is the index whether they has been dropping around 42%. So we can use this as a benchmark, okay, for Hang Seng index. All right. So if let's say the Hang Seng index, okay, drop 42% and then started to rebound. Is it the questions? Is that what I mean? Okay, that's what I mean actually. All right. So average draw now. Okay. So later we are going to see the Hang Seng index. All right. And then let us go through some of the performance of the index. Okay. Let us go through some of the performance of the index. And this is the stock chart that I'm using. All right. Okay. Can you see the stock chart? Can you see the stock chart? If you can see, can you type yes, please, before I move on? Can someone reply me if you can see the stock chart? Type in the chat room.
Yep, we can see the stock chart.
Okay, thank you. All right, so this is a STI index. Okay, so STI index pretty obvious. Okay, actually hit resistance. All right, so that's why the price started to pull back lah. Okay, and right now you know STI index is overbought. Okay, STI index is overbought. Okay, so what happened is that, so when is the support level? Okay, the support level could be here lah. Right. Okay, so they might have actually around 4.2%. Okay, projections. Okay, if let's say the STI index is going to go down. All right, so that's why you know, in my previous webinar I mentioned that STI index was oversold already, and then don't buy, wait for the pullback. Okay, wait for the pullback. All right, so you can see that this was a bearish candlestick for STI index already. All right, so right now, okay, STI index is pullback. Okay, is pullback. All right, so wait for the index to be what we call that consolidating before you go into the stock markets of Singapore index or Singapore stocks, right? And then the other one I want to show you is what we call that S&P 500. S&P 500s. All right, so S&P 500s basically also went up. Okay, so you can see that the price actually break out, okay, from the top here, 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 and then break out from here. And after that, what happened? After that, the price actually shoot up. Okay, the price actually shoot up. Okay, so you can see that S&P 500 maximum drawdown was 14%. Okay, and then the rebound was 11% based on the low. Okay, based on the low, the rebound was around 12%. Okay, 12%. All right. So like what I mentioned, okay, we want to buy where? We want to buy here. Okay, so we want to buy here. So if you are my client, okay, most probably you'll be notified lah. Okay, you'll be notified, okay, to look at the market when the market begin to change the trend. Okay, begin to change the trend. So we want to buy here. All right, and then what happened to Nasdaq? Okay, the technology counter index. So we can see that the previous high, okay, and then compare with the lowest, okay, the index was actually dropped 22%. Okay, so in the technical term, if the index dropped more than 20%, we consider it as a bear market, right? So Nasdaq index enter bear market for 1 day, all right, then subsequently the stock market rebound strongly. Okay, rebound strongly. All right, so we can see that right now the index, okay, reaching the resistance as well. Okay, reaching the resistance as well. So you can see that market is actually overall is overbought. Okay, market overall right now is overbought. Okay, so if you have not entered yet, then you might want to wait for the pullback. But however, one thing, anything can happen to the stock market. Okay, anything can happen to the stock market. So what do I mean by that? Okay, what do I mean by that? That means stock market can go both way, you know. It can actually what we call that, break out, continue the trend, or break down. Okay, possible. So right now the price are still hovering near the what we call that, the resistance area. But however, if you look at this black color candlestick, right, this one, so this is a bearish candlesticks. And then if you compare with this previous day candlestick, you can see that the price, okay, is actually different. Okay, the price is actually different. Of course, reasons is because that last night, okay, last night they were a seller, you know, selling some of the stock. So you can see that profit taking is happening. All right, and then the last night candlesticks was not be able to what we call that, a push up, and in fact it actually closed lower as compared to this previous candlestick. So what does it mean? It actually means that the Nasdaq index was having a profit taking. All right, and then the buyer are not interested to push up the price anymore, because what happened is that they has been making how many percent? Okay, they have been making around 15%. Okay, for this rebound they has been making 15% from the index. Okay, so therefore they are not interested to push up the price further, and then therefore they started to sell. Okay, that's why you can see this is a bearish candlesticks, right? So next thing I want to show you is what? Show you the Hang Seng index. Okay, so Hang Seng index, let me see. All right, so this was the high. So we want to measure whether how many point or how many percentage they has been dropping. Okay, just now we based on the benchmark, the average drawdown is 42%, right? 42%. Okay, let us do some measurement. Okay, right, so we can see that from the top here and compared to this bottom, okay, and in fact the index was dropped around 41.6, close to 42%. Okay, so you can see that, okay, after hitting the low, all right, the index started to rebound. Okay, so you can see that you know, average drawdown is very important, so that it can actually help us to time where is the bottom, so that you can buy near what we call that, buy near bottoms. Okay, so that you can actually buy near bottom. All right, so this is interesting. And then next thing I want to share with you is this. All right, recovery underway. Okay, recovery underway. And then what sector do we look at? Okay, what sector should we look at? Right. And I think 2022 would be a solid a demand, okay, for services spending. All right, reason is because that services sector has not been fully recovered yet. Because of what? Because of a social distancing, and then because what we call that the SOP restrictions. All right. Okay, SOP restriction. But however, what happened is that in 2020, I think in second Q2 2020, maybe there are more restriction going to be lifted that will actually help the industry, like tourism, travel, okay, which you can see stock like SIA, SAT, and then what else? SIA Engineering went up. All right. So this was mentioned in my previous webinar when the stock actually went up this few days. All right. So we can see that probably vocations rentals, like for example in US we have Airbnb. Okay. Flight we have SIA, and then we have services like SATS. All right. So will be what we call that recover. Okay, will be recover, and because of what? Because of more restriction are going to be lifted. All right. And as you can see that this is what we call it information that was published in Channel New Asia. All right. So 29 March. Okay, there are more activity. Okay. Has been lifted, and then one of the complaint from my colleague, okay, who are working in the office is this one. All right, so that means up to 75% of the employee has to go to work, okay, instead of instead of working at home. Okay, reason is because that if 75% of the workforce going to the office, what happened to retails? It will actually benefit the retails, okay, especially the food and beverage. Right, food and beverage, okay, will be benefit from this what we call that SOP has been lifted. Okay, so this is some of my watch list. All right, so US what we call that bank is still strong, all right. We have DBS, UOB, and OCBC, and then we have airline industry, SIA and SIA Engineering, pretty strong. So maybe you can take a look at the chart, and then from there we identify where is the key point. We take a look DBS. Right, so DBS has been trending up. Oops. Right, so went up a lot, and then I just want to show you when is a support level. Right, so it was pretty obvious. Okay, the support level was here, here, and rebound. Okay, all right, rebound. Right, so I also mentioned this in my previous webinar, but right now already rebound strongly. Okay, so we don't buy, we wait for the pullback. All right, because what? Because STI index already started to pull back. Okay, so right now we don't buy, we wait for the pullback. Okay, we wait for the pullback. So we have UOB. Right, so UOB also in the consolidation zone. Okay, and anything can happen. It can break down or it can break up. Okay, right now no confirmation yet, so we continue to observe, but the price is overbought. Okay, the price is overbought and not to buy. Okay, not to buy. All right, and the other one we have OCBC. So OCBC also dropped quite a lot previously, and then right now the price is where? The price is near the resistance. Okay, price is near resistance. Okay, so we can see that this price can go either way, or break out or break down. Okay, but right now no confirmation yet, so we need to continue to observe. Okay, we need to observe. And the next thing I want to show you is SIA. So SIA also went up a lot after the news. Okay, the SOP has been lifted. All right, so you can see that price is near the resistance. Right, price is near the resistance. All right, it's not advised to go in. Right, but like what I mentioned, anything can happen. Right, okay, if the market is really bullish, okay, so the price might break out or pull back. Okay, so no confirmation yet, so everything need to wait. All right, anything need to wait. And then the other one, we have SATS. SATS. So SATS is similar to SIA, and also what? Also near the resistance already. So the resistance we don't buy lah, we wait for the pullback. All right, we wait for the pullback. Okay, we don't buy. So today, today webinar, right? Okay, it happened that all the stocks are already overbought. Okay, all the stock overbought. All right. So if you happen to be in my webinar last couple of weeks, then there was a plenty opportunity lah for you to enter. So right now everything is expensive already, right? So what you can do is just need to wait, right? The other one is the SIA engineering, also went up and break out. Okay, so this guy actually break out, okay, right? So you can see this guy actually break out. So that's why I say anything can happen to sets and the SIA lah, sets to SIA, right? So when is the, what we call that, the resistance could be here. Okay, so somewhere around $2.60. Okay, resistance is $2.60, right? So overbought breakout. Okay, so the resistance is somewhere around $2.60, somewhere here. All right, so tomorrow we continue to observe. Okay, and what else? What other stocks? Okay, Semcon Industry, Singtel, ComfortDelGro, SEMB, CRP. So Semcon Industry also overbought as well, right? Double top, and the price pullback, right? So this is a support level. Okay, support level is around $2.50. Okay, $2.50, right? Let me see, $2.55. Okay, support level is $2.55. And then we have ComfortDelGro. ComfortDelGro also overbought. Okay, double top, okay, price might pull back, right? Somewhere around here, or breakout. Okay, anything can happen. And then next one is a Singtel. Okay, Singtel actually break out from the consolidation phase. All right, they actually break out, and you can see that the price rebound, pullback, rebound. Okay, so right now consolidations. Okay, so when are they heading to? Okay, which is quite interesting, probably somewhere here, right? Around $2.80. Okay, around $2.80. All right, so interesting. Uptrend. Okay, turning uptrend, and then price breakout. All right, price breakout, resistance where $2.80. So as long as the price stay above $2.60, okay, a potential upside to $2.80, okay, for Singtel. All right, and then next thing I want to show you is BRC, First Resource and Wilmar. BRC. So BRC uptrend. Okay. So uptrend, pullback, uptrend again. All right. And then the price actually break out from here. Okay. So right now the price actually pull back. Okay, rebound. Okay. So the next resistance is somewhere here, right? Around $1.60. Okay. And the support level is here, $1.52. Right. And first resources. Okay. Let me see the system. All right. System actually called to buy somewhere here. Okay. If I'm using the system. Okay. And then call to sell. And then call to buy again. Right. And then the price continue. Right. Okay. So I still remember we call for this stock and we broadcast to our clients through the Telegram group so that our client can make a necessary decision. And then what else? Wilma. So Wilma have a long pullback. Okay, have a long pullback, right? So this is a what? This is a so-called support level. Okay, so it look like the price has been broken. Okay, look like the price has been broken. And then long candlestick, which is not really good. So maybe tomorrow will what? Tomorrow will continue, right? So be careful. Okay, if you are holding, you might want to take profit. All right, if you are not buying, then you wait for the pullback. Okay, Wilma turning weak because of the bearish candlestick. All right, so this candlestick is really bearish. Okay, and we talk about tech stock in Singapore, technology stock. We have AEM. Right, so AEM rebound strongly after pullback, right? And then the price are still pretty strong. Okay, it's like look like cup and handle. Okay, let's say the price what we call that, sideways pull back a little bit. Okay, and then rebound. Okay, possible, interesting. Okay, but right now it's already overbought as well, right? So chances are either they rebound, either they break out or pull back. Okay, support somewhere around here. Okay, support somewhere around here before they rebound. Okay, so that is AEM. And then the other one we have UMS. All right, so UMS also pull back, and then currently the price is near the resistance, so the price might break out or break down. Okay, so continue to observe lah. Right, so the next thing I want to show you is what the US stocks. Okay, so these are the strong sector or so-called strong stocks. Okay, strong stock in the US stock market. We have COP, DVN, and OXY. Okay, OXY, right? So still very bullish. Okay, and overbought. All right, and DVN, energy stocks, very strong. Okay, so the price still continue to move up. All right, so what we want is that we want the price pullback, then we buy. Price pullback, we buy. Okay, the price pullback, buy. Okay, the price pullback, actually buy, and the price pullback, buy somewhere here. Right, so we can use the price actions, for example, the trend line. Okay, the trend line. Okay, right, so this is the stocks, and then we have FCX and AA. We take a look at FCX and AA. Okay, still very bullish, right? So you can see that the price went up. FCX, and then we have AA, aluminium. right? So uptrend, and then we have AMR, right? Very bullish, okay? And lastly, what do we have? We have ABBB. So this is healthcare stocks, also went up strongly as well, right? So the screener will be able to help us to screen out the potential stock like Nasdaq stocks. Okay, so you can see that within a few seconds, the stock will be able to pop up. And then what I do is I can do the screening, right? And I can do what we call that ranking. Okay, let's say for example, it also show the industry and the sector, and at one glance you'll be able to notice energy are still a very strong sector, and then followed by a basic material. Okay, LSB industry, right? So very strong stocks, and then we have a shipping stocks. Okay, all right, we have a shipping stocks here, and then what else? We have AA, okay, which I mentioned it, MP, right? And then I also can screen out, you know, Nasdaq stock if I want to. All right, so I can rank the stocks. Okay, you can see that most of them are technology stocks, right? Energy stock, we take a look. So for those of you who trade momentum stock, these are the strategy that you need to look at. Okay, these are the strategy that you need to look at. Right? Okay, so that is for a stock analysis. Okay, so what else? Okay, I hope that you learned something new today. Basically, what I have shared with you is based on my view. Okay, like what I mentioned, I have been investing in the stocks, okay, for many years. So I actually specialize in global market, US, Hong Kong, China, Malaysia, and the Singapore market as well. Okay, so what's up for today? Okay, so today, you know, I want to share with you how we can help you. Okay, how we can help you. If you are still losing money, okay, no stockbroker to servicing you, all right, and if you still trade by yourself and then no result, okay, and if you are working full-time, no time to look at the stock market, okay, and then this might be for you lah, okay, this might be for you, okay. So may I suggest that you can open a free trading account with me, so that you will be able to what we call that get the bonus from me. Okay, what bonus that I mentioned is basically the Telegram group broadcast, okay, which I already show you. And then these are the few example. In order for you to what we call that to join my Telegram broadcast, okay, what you need to do is that tonight you just need to open a free trading account, and then you know, we will invite you into my Telegram group, which I update almost every day. This is one of the example. Before the Wilmar price you know, shoot up, or when the Wilmar actually you know, in the consolidation zone, this is where I use the price actions to spot the opportunity. So that's why I say we work behind the scene, right? And then we look at the market, you know, from 9 to 5 p.m. Sometimes we look at the US market as well. So we do the homework for you, okay? So what you need to do is that you just need to, okay, wait for the opportunity or wait for the broadcast to be received through your mobile phone, so that you can make a necessary decision. So after sending out this broadcast, okay, what happened to Wilmar? Wilmar actually shoot up within 2 days. Okay, Wilmar actually shoot up within 2 days. All right. And another example is Yang Zijiang. Okay, Yang Zijiang was in the consolidation zone. Okay, so if you are a working person, no time to look at the market, all right, and then you might actually miss out this opportunity lah, huh? So when you miss out the opportunity, what? Okay, then you might you know, look for what we call it. Then I mean, you not be able to spot this kind of stock. So after send out this broadcast, okay, Yang Zijiang actually shoot up within the 2 day as well. All right. So these are the opportunity, okay, for you. And then it is up to you whether you want to take the opportunity or not. So our job is to save your time. Our job is to do the homework for you. Okay. Our job is to what? Is to make things easier for you lah. Another example. Okay. Before the bank started to sell down, profit taking occur during that time. So when we spotted seller are selling off the stock like DBS during that time, we also remind our client to take profit. Okay, after sending out the broadcast. Okay, DBS bank crashed down. Okay, which is around more than 10% during that particular time. So you can see that these are the what we call that broadcast that we have been sending out to our client. We do the homework for you. Okay, like what I mentioned, we do the homework for you. Okay, so what you need to do is that you just need to open account with us, which is free one, right? And by scanning the QR code, and this offer for you is only today only. All right, if you don't take action now, okay, then it's too bad. All right, because what we call that there are quite a number of people who are actually looking at the stock market, and then sometime they need certain support as well. And if we are what we call that not be able to what we call that spotted opportunity, then you might actually miss out the opportunity as well. Okay, so you might want to scan the QR code here right now, and if you have any questions, you can always what we call that write an email to this Phillip Future or Phillip Nova if you have any questions about the account opening. All right, so that's all from me. Thank you for your time. I hope you learned something new today, and I hope to see you soon, or maybe see you in what we call that another webinar. Okay, thank you everyone for your time. Thank you.
Yeah, can I bring her inside the room? She's good. I get